my last video, I discussed the power of active listening as a way to reduce the volume of emotional noise during an uncomfortable conversation. Today, we'll discuss giving effective feedback. By definition, feedback is helpful information that is shared with an individual or group to either praise exceptional performance or to deliver insight into how one can improve ineffective performance. Of course, positive feedback offers praise and encouragement for a job well done, while constructive feedback helps individuals understand how they can improve their performance. Now, before we go any further, I think it is important to distinguish between constructive feedback and the often discussed constructive criticism. Constructive feedback is focused on offering suggestions in a positive and supportive manner with an emphasis on the problem and not the person. On the other hand, constructive criticism is rarely constructive because the focus tends to be more on the shortcomings of the person rather than directly and supportively addressing the problem. With that in mind, what makes an uncomfortable conversation so difficult is that it typically involves you telling someone something that they do not want to hear, and/or them telling you something that you do not want to hear. That's the nature of constructive feedback, and to prepare for this interaction, I recommend you effectively answer 3 questions before the meeting starts. First, what specific behavior-focused feedback will you provide? The key term here is behavior-focused. The best constructive feedback focuses on actionable behaviors. In addition, this question identifies a specific problem that needs to be addressed during your conversation. Second, why do you need to provide this feedback? In other words, what is the problem and how do you feel about it? Concerned? Upset? Frustrated? Be clear about that. Third and finally, how will you communicate this feedback? Giving constructive feedback is not an easy task, but using the following feedback model can greatly ease your burden. It's very straightforward. I observed blank. I feel blank because blank. How can we address this problem together? For example, I observed you arriving late for work 3 times last week. I'm concerned because it has a negative impact on the quality of our customer service. How can we work together to resolve this problem? Notice there are 2 key elements in this last step. First, it gives you a specific framework for articulating your constructive feedback. Second, it emphasizes that you want to work together with your communication partner to address the problem. That's it. The next time you have an uncomfortable conversation, just answer these questions. You'll reduce emotional noise and you'll more effectively resolve the problem.